Hey, what's going on everyone? This is G and I'm Phunken hungry. In this video we're going to try Twisties Zooper Dooper Fairy Floss flavour. Life's pretty straight without Twisties. Tickle your taste buds with the sweetness of a summer classic Zooper Dooper Fairy Floss. Now I have had Zooper Doopers, probably more so cheaper brands, or it's basically just like a, like a piece of plastic with the flavoured ice inside it. I'll leave it on screen if you don't know what I mean, but yeah, it's basically an ice block or icy pole. I don't know what weird and crazy wacky names people call them in different countries. Yeah, like an icy pole, which isn't the best name to go with, really. I'll leave the nutritional information on screen for you if you're interested in taking a look. Also, I'll leave the ingredients on screen if you want to pause and go through that. But like always, we'll go through the basic ingredients. Cereals, corn, rice, sugar, salt, food acid, brackets, citric acid, natural colours, beet red. Beet red? Is that beetroot? And it has rosemary extract for some reason. Anyway, gluten. Anyway, that threw me off. Contains gluten, milk, soy. Alright, let's bust these open and have a look. This is what they look like. Now I know a lot of these flavours, to be honest, when I've taste tested them, afterwards I haven't really gone back and had them again. Most of the time they just sit there and I end up throwing them away, really. But they are fun. They are really, to me, aimed more at kids. And yeah, more of a once-off because, yeah, they don't last. They're limited edition. They're meant to be a bit of fun. Most of these sort of novelty, sweet Twisties, they've been okay. I gave them a little bit more of a higher score than I would, just because they're a bit of fun. Anyway, let's give this a try. I did smell a little bit of, I can still smell some coming out of here. Anyway, that means it's time for the Phunken hungry sniff sniff. Let's give it a sniff. Sweet. Candy. Has like a raspberry sort of smell coming off as well. Anyway, showing you what they look like. This is what they are. These are some chunky Twisties. Basically, it's kind of like a yellow colour with a bit of pink going through. Quite lovely, quite pretty, like me. Anyway, let's give it a try. This is the Twisties Zooper Dooper Fairy Floss. Cheers. Yeah, straight away, you do get that kind of flavour that you would get from a cordial or a icy pole. They're not too bad. They're not too bad with more savoury rice corn. A little bit sour. A little bit tart. A little bit sweet. A little bit savoury. I reckon these ones taste nicer than the blueberry one. Besides the crazy packaging, and yeah, even the colour of the Twisties, these aren't obviously turning my tongue blue. If you don't know what I mean, the last Twisties I had were a sour blueberry and they was turning my tongue blue. So they're a little less fun in a way. A lot nicer flavour, to be honest. I feel like I could actually finish this bag a little bit more like the cinnamon donut flavour. The sour blueberry, they're still sitting out there, I'm pretty sure. I am actually going back and forth a little bit more on these, so have a nice tart sugary flavour. They're actually quite nice, to be honest. Most of the time I'm going on more on fun and just could kind of imagine being a kid eating some of these flavours and like really enjoying them, especially with some friends. It's a nice mix if you want something a little bit more on the sweet side than just, chicken and cheese flavours. So my rating for Twisties Zooper Dooper Fairy Floss flavour, I'm going to give them a good 7 out of 10. It actually does work quite well. It's like, a kind of like a raspberry strawberry sort of flavour, a little bit tart, a little bit sugary. something a little bit different to try, and it's not totally trash. For a price rating, I did pay $2 for this, but apparently they're $2.84 for full price. So, yeah, $2.84 for full price. It's definitely a little bit rich. That is. I'll give them a 4 out of 10 for price rating. Definitely does have a icy pole sort of flavour. It does have that sort of, I guess, kind of like the way my mind's trying to explain it, like a artificial fake sort of fruit flavour in there. But let me know in the comments below if you've tried Twisties Zooper Dooper Fairy Floss flavour. I'd love to hear if you agree or disagree. I know a lot of people are just going to say it's trash, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. This is G from Phunken Hungry, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.